Are you trying to show the relationship between various categories and you don't want to use the line chart or the matrix? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Not only that I'll show you the visual that you need to use, but I'll also show you 3 various transformations which will help you achieve just exactly what you want. And not only that, but I'll show you exactly when to use each variation. So let's not waste any time and head over to Power BI Desktop. The visual that we're going to use is the scatter plot. So let's select the visual. We will add the area name in the values. Let's rename this to area. And then for the x-axis, we will use the sales. And for the y-axis, we will use the orders. What more can we do? Well, we can use the bubble size to emphasize the area with the most sales. Very easy to do with the visual selected. Drag the sales measure over the size. And perfect, you see the area with the most sales has the bigger bubble. What else can we do to improve it? Well, we can add some average lines. To do that, select the visual, go to reference line, click add a line. Let's rename this line orders average. It will be an average line and it will be based on the orders series. The color will change it from this blue to a gray, let's say with a width of 2, and it will be behind the bubbles. Let's add another line. This one will be named sales average. Again, it will be an average line. We'll change the color to a different dark gray. We'll set the width to 2 pixels and it will be again behind the bubbles. Perfect. Now we can see that we have areas that perform better than the average and areas that perform lower than the average. But you might ask me, well, which areas? So let's turn on the category labels. Select the visual, turn on the category labels, and voila. Now we know which areas perform better than the average. But we still don't know how they perform and evolved over time. How can we do that? Well, here comes the second transformation of this visual. Let me create a duplicate of the page so we can see the differences later. With the visual selected, let's add the month name to the play axis. This will add the months at the bottom of the visual. And now if we select, for example, January, we can see the sales and orders for each area for January. If we move to February, again, it shows the February values. Or we can hit play and we can see the evolution over time. But looking at the visual, we have a problem. We have the month name that shows above the bubble. So, how can we sort that? To sort that, we need a measure that returns the maximum number of orders for any given month and any given area. The measure would look like this. First, we need to create a table that cross-joins the areas and the month name. And then we need another column that shows the number of orders based on the orders measure. And finally, from that table, we'll calculate the maximum number of orders for all the selected areas. Now all we need to do is select the visual, go to the y-axis, and in the maximum value as field value, we will select our measure. And this will be axis control, max orders. Perfect. We can already see the differences. The second problem that we have is at the bottom here for the number of orders. We can see that the bubble for area 3 is halfway covered. So how can we sort it? Again, in the y-axis with the minimum value, we can change the minimum value here, let's say to -10 and see how it goes. Perfect. It shows right above exactly what we want. Now let's see the differences between these two variations. If we look at the regular scatter plot, we can see we have a relationship between sales and orders. But what it doesn't give us is the seasonality. And that was achieved by adding the month on the second variation. And by adding the month, now we can compare seasonality between months and years. But this only shows the value for any given month. They are set values, not necessarily running totals. How can we achieve that? I'll show you in a minute, because here comes the third transformation of this visual. First of all, we will need measures to return the running totals for the sales and for orders. and here how they look like. This is for the sales running total, and this one, which is exactly the same, with the only difference that instead of sales we are calculating the orders. Now let's head back to the visual. Let me duplicate it again so we can see the differences for this one as well. With the visual selected, instead of sales we will select cumulative sales, and instead of orders we will select cumulative orders. Now you see we can only visualize some of the areas, not all of them. And that is because we are still using the maximum Y value for a given month, not for the running total. So I've already created that measure, and I'll replace the maximum Y value from maximum order axis to the other measure, which in our case is this one. Let's press OK. Bada bing bada boom. Now we have all the areas visible. Now if we hit play, we can see the evolution over time. Whereas before we could only see the evolution on a monthly basis, and it was not necessarily an evolution but more like a visual display. So let's recap. We started with the regular scatter plot, and here we can see the values in a static way. Next we move to the scatter plot with the play axis. Here we can see how the values change from month to month on a fixed basis, not necessarily as a trend over time. And finally we have the scatter plot with the play axis based on the running totals that shows the running totals, not the individual monthly values. At the beginning of the video I've told you that I will tell you exactly when you need to use each of the variations. So let's start with the first one, the regular scatter plot. If you're ever in a situation where you need to compare two variables, this is the best way there is. This is very easy to set up, very informative, and you can add other variables by adding various other average lines or median or whatever you need. If you also need to add seasonality, then your second variation is the one that you want to use. By using the second variation, you break everything up and you can analyze everything into more detail. But if you want to take it to the next level and introduce even a trend line, then the third variation is the one that you need to use. Why? Because you have the correlation between variables, you have the element of seasonality, and then if you click on any of these bubbles, then you will have the trend line as well. And this will show the evolution over time, and sometimes you'll see that the orders will grow slowly but the sales will grow the same. Or the sales will be lower and the orders will be higher. This will give you the option to analyze where you need to change, what you need to change, or if there's anything to change. If everything goes well, don't break it. This is one of the many ways in which you can improve the design of your reports. And if you want to know how you can take them to the next level by using a gradient shade area for a line chart, then all you need to do is watch this video right here. If you enjoyed the video and found it useful and you'd like to have early access to videos, all you need to do is become a member of the channel. Until next time, this is Stelian signing off. Cheerio!